Yo, what it do? It's your boy K Sims. We're back at you with another episode of the K Phonics podcast. As always, before we start tonight's episode, you can follow me on Instagram _9deuce. That is _9 DEUCE. You can follow me on YouTube as well. It's K Phonics, KPHONICS. The studio that I am recording in is called The Spirit TV. You can follow them on Instagram at The Spirit TV. You can follow them on Snapchat at The Spirit TV, and you can follow them on Facebook, just The Spirit TV. You can listen to a plethora of podcasts, not only just mine, about music, finances, about medical things, just a plethora of other things that you can listen to. So definitely check them out. All right, guys, we're going to jump right into it. Tonight we're going to start with sports. Obviously, the biggest thing that is going on right now is NBA free agency. Well, also the draft too, but the biggest thing right now is the whole Kawhi Leonard situation. Now, Kawhi Leonard was a member of the San Antonio Spurs, and now he is reported to be not wanting to be with the Spurs anymore. According to reports, he definitely wants to be a Los Angeles Laker. Now, Kawhi Leonard is a different type of breed of athlete. And what do I mean by that? I mean that he is the quiet type. He's an individual that just, grabs his lunch pail, go to work, doesn't really like attention, doesn't really, broadcast too many things about himself. I mean, the only thing that was ever reported about Kawhi was that he still drives a 97 Chevy and that he uses coupons to buy Wingstop. So that's a different type of breed when it comes to NBA players. So him wanting to be a Laker is the biggest thing right now. According to reports, he was unhappily upset with the San Antonio Spurs because he believed that they misdiagnosed his injury. They cleared him to play, and he felt like that he was not ready to play. He felt as if that he was still injured. So according to reports, also his uncle has been in his ear stating that they have been displeased with the organization and that they want their money. Now, the San Antonio Spurs has a different type of culture. What do I mean by that? They're used to the David Robinsons, the Tim Duncans, the Tony Parkers, and the Manu Ginobilis. Well, those individuals are guys who give back to the company, meaning that Tim Duncan for years has taken less money. I mean, he is an individual that should have easily been paid $30 to $40 million a year. He was the cornerstone of that franchise. They did not win anything until he got there. David Robinson was already there, and they didn't win without Tim Duncan. They never won a championship without Tim Duncan. He could have easily been paid $30 to $40 million a year. However, he's left money on the table in order for them to get pieces for the team. So has Tony Parker, so has Manu Ginobili, and so has David Robinson when he is there. However, Kawhi Leonard is the same as like a LeBron James, a KD, a Steph Curry, or any other superstars in the league. Sure, they want to win championships, and sure, they want to have pieces around them. However, they're not going to leave money on the table doing so. I mean, KD is only leaving money on the table because he can compensate what happens off the court that can keep his pockets real deep for what he's not getting on the court. However, he's still going to get his money because of the new TV deal, and the salary cap increases each year due to the TV money that they signed for. So, I mean, look, I hope Kawhi Leonard gets what he wants. Now, I do understand that from a business perspective, the San Antonio Spurs have the right to keep him because he is under contract. Now, they don't have to capitulate to his demands because obviously that's putting more power into the players' hands, and that's something that ownership does not want to do, and they definitely do not want to empower a rival within their conference of the Los Angeles Lakers. They definitely do not want to play a hand into creating another super team, because that leads me into the next topic when it comes to LeBron James. Now, obviously, LeBron James is not going to stay in Cleveland. He does not have any help, and that would be a dumb decision for him to stay there. Well, it only would be dumb in terms of the team. Now, if his kids and his wife want to stay there, that's a different story, because they have to be on board for wherever he goes. Now, it's reports that he's definitely not going to come to H-Town because he doesn't apparently like Houston as a city, which is crazy as hell. I mean, Houston, Cleveland, I mean, it's a no-brainer. H-Town is where it's at. However, according to reports, his son has agreed to go to a high school in Los Angeles, and he has 2 homes in the Brentwood area. So it's reports that he definitely wants to go to LA. Now, LeBron is a different type of guy. He does not play his hand. In order for him to go to the Lakers, Kawhi Leonard will have to be traded there already. Paul George will have to have already signed his contract, and then LeBron James would be the last piece going to LA. LeBron James is not going to just go to LA without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I don't even think he goes to LA with Paul George alone. Maybe Kawhi Leonard alone if he does get there, but definitely LeBron James does not go to LA without Kawhi Leonard, definitely, for sure. Everybody's watching it. Hell, I know I'm watching it, and I hope that he definitely does go to LA, because I'm gonna be frank with you, man, I'm getting tired of seeing his ass lose. I mean, he's 3-6. I mean, him and the Jordan debate to me is kind of pretty much dead in terms of on the court, because Jordan has better accomplishments. Now, if you want to talk about the totality of what's on the court and what's off the court, I think that he beats him in terms of, longevity, in terms of him embracing social consciousness, in terms of speaking out for the community and things of that nature. So I think that he beats him in that realm. But that, it remains to be seen what he's actually going to do. Another thing that I believe that's good for the NBA is Puma is now a major part in the NBA. Jay-Z is now the president of Puma basketball operations. And I think that they're going to do big things. Now, Nike and Adidas have always reigned supreme in the NBA. Not so much Reebok, but Puma is always been a lifestyle. I mean, Nike and Adidas, they've been a lifestyle too, but mainly in the hip-hop community. I mean, Run DMC put Adidas on the map. I mean, MJ put Nike on the map, but they've always led into what's on the culture in terms of the NBA. But Puma has always reigned supreme in terms of a lifestyle. I mean, hell, Puma, I drive a BMW, so Puma has done collaborations with BMW. They've done collaborations with other great things, and once you see that logo, it's just classic. I mean, once you see the Nike and Adidas logo, it's classic too, but that Puma logo, that Puma jacket, man, it's, I'm telling you, man, it's untouched. But those are the big things that's happening in the NBA right now. In terms of boxing, which is my big sport, the Canelo versus Triple G fight is now on, so they're definitely fighting September. It's definitely been a rocket roller coaster with them in terms of negotiations. They definitely have been going back and forth. Triple G made a lot of concessions for the first fight, made a lot of concessions for the second fight, but since Canelo definitely failed that drug test, he believed that he should have gotten 50-50. Now, Triple G he deserves 50-50 for what happened, but he doesn't deserve 50-50 in terms of star power. He doesn't bring 50% to the table. He barely even brings 45% to the table. He really kind of brings only 30% to the table, if that. But I'm glad the fight is happening. But the biggest topic that I wanted to talk about in terms of boxing is Errol Spence. Now, if you don't know Errol Spence is a boxer out of DeSoto, Texas. He is on Al Haymon's stable, if you've seen him with the Charlo brothers, and he is a tremendous southpaw. Well, he had his first hometown fight in Dallas on June 16th, and he definitely lived up to the hype. I think that it peaked at over 700,000 views on Showtime. That is a big deal, making it its third best watched boxing event, and definitely he is on the rise. Now, another thing that's been in the media with him and Terrence Crawford is that the brew is already in the making for those two to fight. I mean, Errol Spence was on the Breakfast Club, and before him, Terrence Crawford was on the Breakfast Club as well. They both were asked questions about each other. They both were humble. They both were respectful, and they both know that when it comes to welterweight supremacy and undisputed champion, that is going to come down to those two. Now, this could be a big fight in terms of being a trilogy. As of right now, I'm rolling with Errol Spence, even though Terrence Crawford is, one of my favorite fighters because he can switch hit, and I definitely like to switch hit as well. But Errol Spence is just on a whole nother level right now. So as of right now, I am definitely picking Errol Spence to win that matchup, man. There's other great fights in boxing. I think that David Benavidez just fought, is fighting Anthony Durrell. We still don't know about the Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder situation, because Eddie Hearn is still in the middle of that. But there's a lot of great things in boxing, and the topic before that, there's a lot of great things in the NBA as well. Shifting over to music, If you haven't listened to J Rock's new album Redemption, you definitely need to get in contact with that. It is a phenomenal piece of work. The Nas album Nasir is a definite piece of work. I haven't got a chance to listen to the Jay-Z and Beyonce album, but from what I have seen from many reviews, that is a great piece of work as well. Those are the 3 hottest albums out right now, so I encourage you to listen to Nas album. It's called Nasir. You listen to the J-Rock album Redemption, and you also need to listen to the Jay-Z and Beyonce album, guys. So those are the things that's going on in the culture. Now, the biggest thing, well, before we get to that, shout out to the TV show Luke Cage. The new episodes are coming out tonight, so definitely, if you are a Marvel fan, you definitely need to get into that. All right, leaving on to the biggest thing that has happened. Now, obviously, everybody knows Donald Trump's new immigration policy. He just signed a new executive order on zero tolerance, and I think that it is very, very, very much so inhumane. I mean, he basically stated that we're going to have a stronger border, and that he just couldn't, comprehend or couldn't stand to see families being separated if they are caught. Well, keeping kids together with their parents, more than 20 days, and then, having a zero tolerance policy on them, it's just like crazy, man. You're basically charging the kids, just like the parents, in their custody, which is crazy. Look, when it comes to immigration, if you've been over here illegally, if you pay your taxes, if you go to work every day, if you haven't had any trouble with the law, I think that you should definitely be a natural citizen. Look, they leave their countries for opportunities. They don't come over here to start crime. Now, there are some individuals who do come over here and they do, commit crimes, but that's on them. But there are a lot of families who leave their situation to come over to the U.S. because why? Because we are supposed to be the land of opportunities. We're supposed to be this great country. So I think that if anybody wants to come over here to better themselves, they all have their opportunities. Now, like I said before, if you pay your taxes, if you go to work every day, basically pay your dues, you definitely should have an opportunity to be granted citizenship. I don't think that you need to jump through hoops in order for you to be granted citizenship, especially if you're trying to come over here to better your situation. Obviously, when he's talking about immigration, yeah, he's going to talk about Muslims, but what he's mainly talking about is the Mexican border. Look, at one particular point, I had a professor who stated that, the Hispanic community was going to be the majority. And for what I can see, they definitely are. They are, a hardworking, group of individuals, just like, any other race. However, they come over here because they definitely need opportunities. And I think that Donald Trump is definitely trying to hinder those opportunities. For what reason? I have no idea. You're trying to worry about keeping people out. Hell, you brought the blacks over here and you want our asses out. But you're definitely trying to keep people from trying to support their families by looking at them as being like an outsider, being like the bastard stepchild. Like, you don't deserve to come over here and breathe our air just because you wasn't born over here. I'm blessed to be an American citizen, but it's still even hard for me being a black man every day. But if I was an illegal immigrant, I definitely do not have any empathy because I don't know what they're going through, but I definitely do have sympathy. I think that it is a terrible thing that this man is doing. Zero tolerance is inhumane and definitely cruel. You're changing the rules basically to keep these people detained permanently. It's just very much inhumane, and it's crazy that this man is still in office. It's crazy that this man has not been impeached, but I do understand why he hasn't been impeached. Just like all of the individuals that's under them, they have dirt too. And I'm sure that if they decided to start, basically singing, he would sing on them too. It's always something every day with this dude. It's a very toxic situation to look at. I don't even look at the news, but this was something that was, a very big deal, which it obviously is, but it's always something every day. Either somebody's quitting, either somebody is being accused of sexual harassment, or either somebody is coming out and being an apologist, or either somebody's coming out trying to be an apologist, but they're being exposed from old footage from back in the day, having a different point of view. It is like one big damn circus. it's a sad circus at that. And I cannot wait for his ass to be, get booted on up out of there. If he comes back for a second term, man, shame on us. If he doesn't come back for a second term, man, hell, shit, I don't know who the hell is gonna be in office, but they're gonna have to clean this shit up. But that's all for tonight, guys. Like I said before, you can follow me on Instagram _9deuce. That's _ the number 9 DEUCE. You can follow me on YouTube, Kphonics, KPHONICS. And if you want to follow the studio that I am recording at, and you want to listen to the other podcasts besides mine, you can follow them on Instagram at The Spear TV. You can follow them on Facebook, just The Spear TV, and Snapchat at The Spear TV. All right, guys, always peace and love. I'm out. 1.